Cool. The closer identity crisis. A lot of this comes back to what I'm seeing in the industry at the moment. I've been in sales a long fucking time and I've seen a lot change, but there's a few things that always stay the same. And a lot of it is the identity of a closer. And we'll get into more about like what a closer is, what a closer isn't in a moment. And here we go. So what the fuck is a closer anyways? For those of you that don't know, this is a film called Glengarry Glen Ross, I believe, and it's an old school sales film. And one of the most famous lines in it is coffee is for closers. And it's just like a funny line. You might have heard it in other shows. They reference it in Family Guy and that sort of thing. Funnily enough, I'm drinking coffee now, but it's just a catch line. And you don't really need to know that. But if you're not in sales, you more than likely haven't seen the film, hence me referencing it. So initially, what is a closer anyways? I feel like is a helpful place to start, because if you're not in sales, you probably heard the term closer, high ticket closer, remote salesperson, left, right, rhubarb. You probably heard it all. So I might as well help you out and give you a little bit more of an understanding. AE is the abbreviated version of account executive. If you're looking for roles online, if you're wanting to get into the space, an account executive is basically a salesperson who closes deals typically for a B2B company, and B2B is business to business. So, for example, Tesco buys all of their stocks from another business. That's a business to business transaction. Whereas a B2C, business to customer, business to consumer, is me going into Tesco and buying a bottle of water from Tesco. I'm the customer, Tesco is the business. So an AE is typically in the B2B space. It's just the word. A lot of sales terms, you might have seen this in your own industry at the moment, but a lot of terms in any business changes. I don't know why. It used to be called salesperson, then it was account executive, then it was new business representative, then it was business development executive. Like, it changes all the time, but the most sort of ones that are common, that have stuck the longest, are account executive, B2B. Closer is exactly the same thing. It's just buttoned up differently. So for example, when I first started in timeshare sales, I was a closer. I was a liner and a closer. So I would open my deals and close my deals. When I went to work as an SDR manager, that was neither a closer or an account executive. That was an SDR/setter that you see below. So I'm not trying to confuse everyone here with all these terms, but basically account executive, B2B, closer, B2C more commonly, but they're the same fucking thing. SDR is exactly the same, but SDR is sales development representative. Basically cold caller, sometimes warm, but traditionally it'll be cold. An appointment setter or setter is usually a B2C SDR. SDR B2B, setter B2C. A lot of the time with setting though, it will be warmer call. So someone who's come in through a lead magnet. And what I mean by lead magnet is someone's clicked on a free CV template like I had. You put your information in there, someone calls you, oh, I saw you downloaded Connor's free CV template. What was it you were looking to get out from it? That's a setter call. It's a bit more warm. They've already showed interest. So there's some subtle differences there. Inbound versus outbound. So a lot of closers will be inbound only. By inbound, it will mean that someone's come through the marketing funnel. So I don't know, again, what industries you guys are in. I don't want to give you a marketing masterclass, but essentially, if I put out content, I run ads, and I get people coming to me for that service, that's inbound. If I'm calling people on the phone or knocking on their door or sending them posts, that's outbound. So they're the differences as well. A lot of the time you'll find with any good appointment setter, SDR, AE or closer, 80% of the money made is made by 20% of the people. And that's just because there's good closers, there's bad closers. There's good salespeople, there's bad salespeople. And for me, it comes down to a lot of things, but the primary thing is the identity. I remember when I was first getting into sales, and you've probably seen the photo before, and I'm sure I'll bring it up again in a minute, but there's me, Gucci sunnies, capri pants, boat shoes, cigarette, sparkling water. I thought I was the dog's bollocks. Like, let's be frank, I thought I was the fucking coolest thing ever. And that was because I loved to say I was a salesperson, because I knew whenever I said I'm a salesperson or I'm a salesman or I sell timeshare, I knew that 99.9% of people would be like, oof, what is that job? Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, that sounds really hard. And I was like, fuck yeah, it is. And I'm really fucking good at it. So I loved it. I dined out on that feeling. So this is where I feel like the identity part of a closer, you have to really love it. You have to really fucking breathe it, and you have to really like what you're getting into, because a lot of people will shy away from it. And for me, all I really want to know is, I like asking people questions just for them to have a little think about, not necessarily rhetorical, but like if you're early on in your journey, as you said, not many of you are in sales at the moment, like where are you actually at in your journey and what do you need to change? So I'm trying to make these more interactive because I'm very conscious that I just monologue a lot of the time and just talk. And as much as I love the sound of my own voice, the best salespeople listen. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. You can just bang in where you're at with your sales journey at the moment, whether you're not even looking or you're currently in the sort of midst of finding a job, or you're already a title closer, or you're already in sales. Add it in, and then I'd like a little bit on the side saying what do you need to change to move forward. And I'm going to be looking for some of these answers. So the quicker you bang it in, the quicker we can move on. I know everyone's got fingers, so you can either tap away on your screen or on your phone. So where are you at?
How'd you do it?
Oh, at the bottom, there's a little tab. Can everyone see it?
I don't know if I can start it to say something, or just should I wait? Like if someone want to go before me, it's okay. But I don't know
We'll
if
do
someone.
questions at the end, if that's cool.
Oh.
So hold the question, but if you can just add in wherever you're at in your sales journey and what do you need to change to move forward. Hoison's already done it. Sorry, it's a lot easier. There's another 10, 11 people that need to fucking bang it in. Donne, are you putting in your response or? Get it in. I want to move on. Cool. Is anyone going to put it in, or is it just Hoyson and I fucking holding the fort?
Roisin.
Roisin, I'm going to start calling you your proper name because you're the only one who's fucking
I'm going to
putting in
start
the effort.
Johnner if you don't call me Roisin.
I can handle that. I have done a mix, hungry to tweak, change things. Okay, cool. Yuri, there we go. Now we're getting some fucking. Now we're getting some traction. Jordan, Belinda, Alex, get it in. I'm currently waiting for my graduation. Definitely never been or done with sales, but I believe it's very learnable for sure. All right, cool. I guess 3 out of 12 is semi-acceptable. Everyone with their hands up, if you've got questions, bang it in at the end. But if you want to add in where you're at now, what do you need to change? That would be helpful. Cool. Abdullah, I'm in door-to-door, but I need to learn to deal with objections better. Perfect. Linda, already in sales as a medical representative, but mostly I meet my customers directly, so I need to hear more things about sales from your point of view. Face-to-face is always the best. I feel like it's the best place to learn, but we can hop into more of that later on. I'm going to continue now because we got enough fucking feedback. So, home video marketing agency sales is the biggest milestone now. Nice. Look at it when everyone comes together. It makes way more sense. Next thing, why most reps fail. And this is for anyone, face-to-face, on the phone, on Zoom, whatever it is. Everyone sounds the fucking same. Everyone does the same bullshit pitch. Everyone crumbles when they get the first objection because they're not closing, they're acting. They're pretending to be someone they're not. They're not expressing themselves as a exaggeration of their current personality. And for me, the best way to do it is always to be, there is a partly an act in it, but if you can add 10, 15, 20% more onto who you are normally, give yourself that extroverted energy, that fun, that, contagious energy, you're going to have a much better time. But everyone sounds the same because everyone goes in with the wrong mindset. They're always thinking about how they can get money from this person, how they can close the deal. They're anticipating objections. And we already know from other workshops is what you believe is what you become. So if you believe that you're going to be getting loads of objections, you're going to be getting loads of objections. And then people will get it. We call it the objection pocket. You need to be comfortable sitting in objections. For me, whenever I've sold, I'm waiting for the first objection. I'm like, as soon as that one comes, I'm ready to roll. It's like if you've ever played rugby or ever done a sport in rugby, everyone's always like waiting for the first tackle. 'Cause as soon as you hit the first tackle, you're fucking off to the races. It's just getting started. So for me, I feel like everyone pitches the same. They had no creativity, they had no flair, they had no fun, they had no flirting, they had none of these things. Like the human, you know, life is meant to be fun, it's meant to be creative, it's meant to be flirty, it's meant to be boisterous, it's meant to be fucking all of these different things. And sales is no different. And this is why I believe I'm fucking much better at sales than a lot of people, is because I combine a lot of these normal day-to-day life happenings into one fun little Royal Rumble when I'm on calls. And what it's really about is going in, like I say, with no underhand tactics. You're not recycling scripts. Obviously, you know, I'll give you a script, you have a script, you'll get given a script. But like at the end of the day, it's like I say to a lot of my guys, and I might mention this again later, but you can't put a saddle on a fucking Mustang. And what I mean by that is you can give me a fucking script and I'll follow the process. But fuck no, will I follow it to a T. I will not follow it word for word because I have my own style. I want to inject my own Connorisms onto it because I know that's what's going to fucking cut the mustard. I'm never going to get someone telling me, oh, well, you know, I've got other people to speak to. It's because they know that everyone that they speak to is going to sound the same. They're going to give them the same bullshit pitch, the same bullshit fucking objection handles. And really all they want to do is meet someone that they're like, fuck, I like this person. I want to be around them more. I want some of their energy and I want fucking more of it because I'm very comfortable with my identity. And I know it's an ongoing process, but for me, it's like, regardless of my tone, my presence, my internal power, my internal feeling, I'm just there to have a fucking good time. And that's what for me it's really about is I know if I have a good time, the best case scenario, they'll spend some money with me. Bob, perfect. But the worst case scenario is I had a good time. So for me, it's a win-win. I'm going to spend an hour on this call with someone, and even if they don't buy it, which is the energy I'm going in with is I don't give a fuck if you buy. Even if they don't buy it, I've still had fun. I've still had a good time. No love lost. I get to move on. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do is they don't go in it with that fucking energy. So that's what it's really about. But this comes from a lot of introspection, a lot of addressing your own thoughts. You know, I was on the way back from, if anyone knows Palma in Mallorca, there's a yacht yard, whatever you call it, a boat yard called STP. I can't remember what it's called, what it stands for, but STP, I was working there on a big yacht. I don't know if you can see this tattoo, but a 72-meter super yacht. You've probably seen it before. Hayden 1929, it was in the film Mamma Mia. I got a job on that as a deckhand and dive master, and we used to do a lot of drugs and we used to party a lot. And I wasn't that old, but there was a few people who worked on it who were older than me, smarter than me, and wiser than me. And one day we're walking back to the yacht. I'm fried. I've taken like 4 pingers. Obviously, I don't do it now, but like that's how it used to go. I've taken like 4 pingers. I'm getting walked back to the boat. The boss is on, and by the boss, I mean the owner who spent 50 million euros on this boat. This little prick's coming back, hanging off his nut. And these guys have been walking me back. And one of my friends, Bollard, who's a bit older than me, a bit wiser than me, a bit smarter than me, asked me. He says, "Connor, what do you want to become a master of?" I can't remember what I said, so I was fried. But the conversation led to, if you can become a master of anything, become a master of your mind. So for me, I've always kind of lived and breathed that. I kind of always saw that as like my North Star is the more I understand how I think, the more I think about how I think, and the more I act on how I think, the more well-rounded, the more well-regulated I'll be. And for me, this is where it comes into the personality. Like you can go this, if you type in 16 personalities on Google, you'll get this personality test. It's fairly diligent, it's fairly long, but it'll give you an understanding. And what a lot of what I do in the community is going into the personalities, because really if you become a student of yourself, if you actually start to become a master of your mind, then you'll be able to understand more people. The more people you understand, the less people you'll meet on sales calls that you won't understand, you won't get on with, and you won't be able to close. I feel like I can close a lot of people because I have commonalities with loads of people. I can make them feel good. I can understand their personality. I know what makes them tick. And a lot of this will be small little assumptions based on the people that I've met over the course of the years of my life. So it helps having lots of life experience, living in different places and working in lots of different jobs with different people, different nationalities, different cultures. But the first place you need to start is understanding yourself. So if you don't know your personality type, I would definitely recommend going into it, and then you'll get an understanding. So mine, obviously, part of this, it tells you what you want to hit. I'd love to be told I'm a commander. Commanders are bold, imaginative, strong-willed, always finding a way or making one. Like, obviously, this strokes your ego a little bit, but it does give you a fairly accurate representation of who you are, what you're like. And below it will give you an indication on how extroverted versus how introverted you are. You know, your intuition and observation, how much you think and how much you feel, how much you judge and prospect, how assertive you are and how turbulent you are. So a lot of these things are always a great place to start. And if you don't know your own personality type, I'm sure everyone knows their fucking star sign. Similar sort of shit, but slightly more helpful. So I definitely recommend having a little look into it, understanding yourself first, and then digging deeper into different personality types, different sort of people on that scale of I can't remember what it's called, but the color scale. Boom, there's that photo I talked about. Tell me this guy doesn't think he's the dog's bollocks. Tell me this guy doesn't think I'm the fucking best salesperson this world has ever seen. And yeah, that's how I see this person, because that's how I genuinely felt. I felt proud to say that I was a timeshare salesman, because it, like I said, it was the least favorable thing that anyone could be doing. But I know no one's fucking doing it because it's fucking hard, but the payoff is great. And that's why I was so good at it. Slicked hair, Gucci shades, cigarette, soda water. Some things don't change, the soda water and the cigarette, but to be fair, I'd probably still wear all of that now. Anyway, the difference between a rep and a closer. You'll find a lot of reps, they're soft, they're submissive, they're needy. They follow a script to the T. They get fucking flustered very easily. They get all up in arms about this, that, and the other because they're being controlled. At the end of the day, when you're on a sales call, a lot of the time what you want to be is you want to be the person holding the lead. You want the person on the call to be the dog, and you're holding the lead. You know, when the dog tries to run off, you give it a little pat on the nose and then you carry on. Obviously, it doesn't always go like that. There's a bit of a dance to be had, but the best closers are calm, direct, controlled. They know what the fuck is going on. They know what's happening, and they're just seeing things a few steps ahead. They're not going to let shit get out of hand. They're not going to let the dog fucking run off onto the park or start barking at the kids, you know? And a big part of it is the energy. If you watch any of my calls, which I've actually tagged on here, I did a role play call with one of my friends. He's a great friend of mine, but he's going to be working with me and working, like I said, he's the guy who does a lot of the calls. So I did a role play call, how I like to sell. And for me, the biggest thing is that he took away from that. He was like, wow, he was like, even though I know you, I've known you for 10 years, I actually felt like I needed to impress you. And for me, it's not like I'm trying to make him feel like he needs to impress me, but I know that my energy, my presence, my silence will speak volumes over anything that I say or any pitch that comes out of me, because I'm genuinely embodying the closer energy. Like, I know that by saying less, by thinking more, by being more fucking diligent with my words and planting seeds, that I'm not just a fucking normal sales rep, because normal sales reps get walked over. That's why 80% of the money is earned by 20% of the people. Because the other 80%, they're just salespeople that never really get that good. They're not in it for the fucking thrill. They're not in it for the chase. They're not in it for the money. They're not in it for anything. They're just in it because they needed a job, and their mum said they're going to kick them out unless they get a job. But that leaves a big fucking gap in the market for everyone to actually become a great salesperson. And I'll put the link of the pitch in later on, but essentially just me doing what I do. The next step, I speak about this a lot. It's something that I never really saw the value of until recently. I don't know how old a lot of you guys and girls are, but I turned 30 in November. And throughout my 20s, all I did was abuse a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs. I abused my sleep. I abused cigarettes. So nicotine, I abused caffeine. I abused everything. And now I have to dial it back a lot because I've gone to this, you know, the edge of the earth. I've gone on fucking Jack Sparrow's ship and I found Davy Jones' locker. And what I need to do now is regulate myself so that I'm not burning out. I'm not getting fucked up. Because if you do, you know, abuse your sleep, if you do abuse caffeine, if you do abuse substances, alcohol, drugs, the only thing that's going to happen is you're out of regulation. You're dysregulated. You feel fucked. You feel anxious. You feel nervous. You feel scotch. You feel scared. You feel shy. That's like a classic hangover. Monday morning, you feel like shit. You don't want to talk to anyone. So for me, fucking up your nervous system from doing all of these things isn't going to help, because you need to feel confident. You need to feel calm. You need to feel present. You need to feel relaxed. People have probably found that when you're around someone that is super regulated, super calm, super chilled, they feel like their energy is just bringing you in. You just want to be around them. You want to be fucking listening to what they have to say. They probably have a great tone of voice. You know, you'll happily sit there for an hour and a half and just let the fucking words flow. This is why a lot of these people you'll see who are doing, you know, TED Talks, or they're doing fucking, I don't know what you call it, where you go up, basically a TED Talk. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. When you see people doing that, some of them will be a bit more hectic, a bit more energetic because that's their brand, but a lot of them will be very present and very calm because you can't fake that sort of regulation. They have to put in the work beforehand. And don't get me wrong, you're in your 20s or in your teens, go at it. Fucking go at it like a bat out of hell. Like, really, probably doesn't make too much difference if you fuck up your nervous system for a number of years, because I'm only feeling the after effects of it now after 12 years of ruining it. So you've got some time to spare. But if you're close to that edge, close to that threshold, or in your 30s, then I'd probably take it a bit more seriously. And for me, one of the biggest things is when I burn out, I try and walk through it. And that's what ended up putting me into bankruptcy last year and fucked me up. But that's probably why I take it a lot more seriously now, because I've been through the ringer and had multiple, you know, lows, let's call them. So yeah, for me, if you're in your 20s, you can fake being regulated, you can fake feeling calm, you can fake everything. But as soon as you get past that threshold, take it a bit more seriously, and people will just buy from you because they're attracted to you. There's like a magnetic, energetic force that is attracting people to you, as opposed to, you know, trying to push them away. So how can you actually do it? Sales identity framework. Number one is, first of all, it's the belief. So what do you actually stand for? What do you actually believe in? And do you have conviction in what you're saying and what you're selling? This is a big one. This is why after a while in timeshare, I couldn't sell it anymore, because I was like, you know what? It doesn't really work. Like, it works for some people, but it's not like the best product on the market. So I'm a big believer in when I'm helping people find roles, or when people are looking for roles on their own, I'm like, make sure you find something that you actually give a fuck about, you think's working. And this is why I'm saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, look at multiple roles at all points of time. Just have a look at this, have a look at this, have a look at this, have a look at this. Because some of them will be good. Some of them will be shit. And it's your job to do a bit of fucking weeding to find out which ones are good and which ones ain't. Because if you can't believe in what you're selling, then they'll smell it and you'll never be able to sell it. Next is control. Can you hold the room? Can you sit there in silence, not feel awkward, not feel weird, not feel like you have to say something? Can you sit in the silence? Can you hold the room? And then finally is calm. Can you handle the pressure? When you're getting objections, it's just a fucking pressure cooker, and you've got to sit there, think clearly, think methodically, and be calm. So these are things that you need to work on, need to practice. Because if not, you'll get fired, as Alan Sugar would say. Hopefully I wasn't the only one that found that funny, but... Oh. And why scripts fail? I can give you a script right now. The most commonly used NEPQ script used by the best salespeople in the world. But if you've got good lines, it really doesn't matter if your delivery is weak. Delivery is the number one thing. Because really, a monkey can read a script, a monkey can close 1 in 10 deals if they're lucky. But I find like the thing that people respond to the most is your tone of voice. And I know that I don't have the most, you know, tonal range. I know mine's fairly monotone, fairly flat. So for me, what I do is I try and use a lot of like body language, especially over the calls. Body language. I emphasize certain words. I'll increase the volume on certain words and then lower it. And then I'll try and change my tone as I go through. Because really it comes down to, if you actually care about it, you care about helping the person. And this is why I always push on, I'm the mindset coach. One, because I'm trying to become the fucking mindset master and the mindset guru. Two is because I really care about people's mindsets, because I feel like if I'm going to talk to them for 45 minutes, an hour, and their mindset isn't in check, then at least nothing else, if they don't buy what I've got to sell, then maybe I could help readjust their mindset so they have a fucking better day. There was a guy I went on a call from, he was trying to join a men's high performance sobriety course. And it wasn't like an AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, but it was like a more of a high performing men, businessman, entrepreneur, quitting drinking so they can level up to the next page. His name was Carlos from the States. And I know that the whole time I just banged the drum of mindset. And he didn't buy with me in the end, but I know that I fucking rewired his mindset enough that he messaged me 4 months later. He was like, haven't touched any drink or drugs in 4 months. Thanks for the chat. Really appreciate it. And in my mind, I'm like, he didn't buy. He'll fucking always remember how I made him feel. Because it really doesn't matter what you say. It's how you say it and how people fucking feel about what you've said. If you can fucking touch a nerve or hit a chord or get a fucking pressure point, then you're digging in the right places. And that's why scripts fail. Because I see a lot of people, they'll stick to the script like it's fucking the best thing you could do. Whereas really you got to feel the people. It's like if anyone surfed, done any water sports or snow sports, a lot of these is about feel. You don't think, you feel. If you go skiing, you feel the snow. If you go wakeboarding, you feel the water. If you surf, you feel the wave. You know, a lot of it is about feel rather than think. And when you have a script, people don't like to go off course. But a lot of the time you need to go off course. And it's the most fun. It's the most exciting. That's where you get creative. That's where you get flirty. That's where you get fucking boisterous. But that takes time. Building your tone. And I know I've touched on a lot of this just now, but like I said, not what you say, it's how you fucking say it. And when I speak to people, you can just smell that energy on. You can feel that energy on them. I said it to the Cowboys earlier. I was like, you could fucking tell someone to fuck off on a call. But if you say it with the right tone of voice and you say it with a bit of a spring in your step and a bit of a laugh and a big cheesy grin, they'll love it. So something that's really important for me is having fun on calls. And I'm sure you guys know Alex Hormozy, but he's a big advocate for like having fun and having jokes on calls. Because when someone says they can't afford it or they give you an objection, because you've had that jokey rapport before, you can just push back so easily on those objections. And what's key for me is dictating the pace of the call. If you want to have fun, have fun. But there's times when you need to slow down, when you need to let punchlines hit, when you need to ask them questions where they have to actually think. And that's a big thing is when you have silence, you use it to your advantage as an ally. If you ask a very powerful question and you let them sit with it, they have to think. What a lot of people do is then they jump in. Hopefully my fucking background noise thing is working because it's noisy as fuck here at the moment. So apologies if not. But with silence, it's like you let shit settle. You let it hit. You know, it's like a mic drop moment. If you've got a big question or something that's really going to make them fucking reconsider their mind, then let it sit. Because the worst thing you can do is jump in and stop them from being on that thought process because that's getting them deep. And I know I mentioned this before, but no one remembers the reps, they remember the energy. And if you match that energy and you make them really fucking remember it, then they'll remember you in turn. And this is just a one, tone versus volume. Like I said, you don't have to have the best tonal range, but you can use volume to do that instead to sort of accompany it and help out with it. Identity and action. So I'm just going to give you some examples because talk is cheap and that's why everyone can afford it. But for me, I've had multiple different identities. I started out as a clown. When I was like 12 years old, I used to walk fucking people around a field on a pony, on a donkey. Then I became a fucking guy who worked at a water park. Then I was doing balloon models. Then I was doing Diablo, Poi, Devil Sticks, unicycles. Like I've done every clown job under the sun. Like I used to make balloon models for kids for like 4 years at the weekend at a fish and chip shop on the beach. Then I became a water sports instructor. Then I became a full-blown party boy. Then in Mexico, I became a salesman. Then after that, I became a business owner, then a content creator. And then I don't know what's next. So the biggest thing is the identity that you have. And for me, I still have the identity of a salesman. I still have the identity of a water sports instructor. Still have the identity of a content creator and business owner. I just use them when I need them. So because I know when I need to use the salesman vibe, I fucking open it up. When I want to become the water sports pro, I just become the instructor again. That's why some of my content will be water sports based, because I still have that inside me. It's just about how many fucking different identities you can embody. And then you fucking, it's like a skin on, I don't play any video games, but I know that you get skins in different games where you can change person. Like GTA, when you change character and you just fucking put that as you. I went on a date maybe a year ago and this chick asked me, she was like, what was the peak of your life? And I was like, peak? Like, you're insinuating I've only had one. I was like, I've had fucking tons of peaks and troughs, up, down, change, really fun, depths, really shit, back to peaks. Like, in my mind, you should have so many different, like, essentially personalities, identities, and parts of your life that you can lean into and jump on. And if you don't, then you better start doing some more different shit. Because realistically, in my mind, if you don't start trying new things and you end up staying the same as you are forever, then you get caught in that cycle of being the one person that does that one thing and never has the bottle to change it. For me, I've been fortunate enough where I've almost got too much bottle where I'll change it at the drop of a hat. I've had to unlearn that. But anyway, Louis, he's one of the closers in Cowboy. He had a huge change in energy. When he was fucking jumped on this offer the other day with this fitness influencer, he started out being a bit soft and doing as he was told, you know, following the script, doing the pitch as is. And I was like, brother, I was like, you can't put a saddle on a Mustang. You know, if he's going to fucking kick you out for doing it your way, then I'd rather do that. I've got a tattoo on my shin that says, better to die on your feet than live a lifetime on your knees. And it's exactly the same thing. It's like, I'd rather die doing what the fuck I want to do on my feet than ever live a lifetime on my knees. And it's the same as this. It's like, do what the fuck you want to do. If you believe in yourself and you know you can get the job done, then no one's going to fucking say anything to you. And that's how I fucking live my life. And that's how I teach people to sell. It's not always going to be the best because not everyone's a Mustang. But when people are, you have to fucking ride it. And then finally, there's more options, more examples I could give, but these are just the ones I've seen recently. Jack, I worked with him on an offer before. He was a setter. He was an appointment setter. And to be honest, I told him, I was like, no company is ever going to take an appointment setter to a closer because they're always going to see you as a setter. So I was like, you just need to fucking bite the bullet, move to a different offer and become a closer. And what happened, he started as a setter. He even has it in his bio here, appointment setter. And I was like, you need to get that shit out of your bio because it's not going to serve you. But what I did with Jack, we just fucking talked through everything. I gave him the fucking kick up the arse he needed because he was experiencing imposter syndrome. He didn't feel like he was good enough, even though he was the number one appointment setter and every fucking appointment that he booked would sell. I'm like, you're already a salesman, brother. And, you know, that's how changing your identity and actually fucking believing it will change the whole outcome of your life. If you believe that you're a waste man, you'll always be a waste man. If you believe that you're fucking overweight, you'll always be overweight. If you believe that you're fucking not good enough, you'll never be good enough. I used to tell myself that I was an analog man living in a digital world. And that I was great with my hands, but I couldn't build anything online. And I was like, one day I was like, fuck that. I built multiple businesses online. I built loads of fucking shit online. I could build anything pretty much online that you want. Within reason, obviously, but I have a good concept of everything. And that was only because I told myself that I'm not a fucking analog man in a digital world. I'm going with the times and I'm going to fucking move forward. That's why you see the people that seemingly do the best don't get caught up in the times. They fucking move with them and expect it and like predict what's going to come next. So yeah, have a little look at yourself, probably telling yourself certain things that have become your identity and they've become etched in your life and become etched in your values. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like only you can make a change. But if you believe it, then it'll always be the same. But a fucking zebra can change its fucking stripes. Cool. And here's some real shift photos. So this is me when I lived in This is me when I lived in Mexico and I thought it was the dog's bollocks. You know, I fucking was running my aunt's business, doing loads of fucking massive deals with sales directors of like the biggest hotel chains in the world, going on yacht parties, fucking sleeping with Argentinian women, thinking I was the fucking shit. Looking at it now, probably wasn't one of my highlights, but at the time I thought I was the fucking dog's bollock salesman. I had my skateboard model era. I had my clothing brand business owner era. I had my full-time modeling era, my party boy era, my gym boy era, my Muay Thai era, my snowboard era, my surf era, my sales era, my Ascot fucking owners area era, my windsurfing instructor era. Like, this is just a small handful of the different identities and eras that I fucking lived. I'm not saying this just to blow fucking smoke up my own ass, but I'm like, this isn't just me who can do this. Anyone can fucking do it. You can change what you want. And for me, it's like really when you stop fucking performing for everyone else, you start living for yourself and believing in your own fucking abilities. Because sales isn't like just a skill set. Sales has been the number one fucking way to live my life, to get exactly what I want, more so than not. It's always put me in the best mindset. It's always paid me the best. And it's always allowed me to have the most fun. And it's always got me a job. Whenever fucking times are hard, get a sales job because you'll get fucking paid pretty quickly, because not many people are willing to do it. And not many people who are willing to do it can do it well. Anyway, but yeah, becoming the person you want to be and becoming the person that the person opposite you needs to fucking feel and be is a huge skill. But as soon as you can like identify that from knowing their personality type, knowing sort of basic stereotypes, then you can become them and you can live it and you can get paid from it. And this is how I do it. For a lot of my sales archetype, sales character, salesman feeling, these are some top things that you can do. And it's just watching fucking films. The Wolf of Wall Street, fucking get it on. Boiler Room, get it on. Glengarry Glen Ross, get it on. The Godfather, American Gangster, Scarface, Peaky Blinders, Suits, Billions, Breaking Bad. There's so many crime, there's so many sales, there's so many business films and TV shows and podcasts. It's like, if you want to become more like these people, then consume more of what these people are doing. Obviously, these are a lot of them are fictional, but they still portray a very real way of life. And for me, it's really helped me. It's like if I go into something and I'm like, I want to be like fucking Michael Corleone, I'm going to say fuck all and I'm going to fucking make sure I get the exact outcome that I want because no one's going to walk all over me. You embody it. And that for me is the easiest way to actually make a shift. Cool. And then we go into the normal shit. If you want to get remote sales, I'm going to skip over this because can't be fucked. If you want to join us, basically the number one thing that I teach you is how to actually get a remote sales role because everyone seems to struggle with it. The second thing I'll actually teach you is how to fucking become a good closer because it's easy to get a role. It's hard to become a good closer. And then from there, we'll teach you psychology, scripts, and everything else in between. And the most important thing is you actually get a role, you actually get paid, and you actually become a fucking person that wants to level up. In terms of getting roles, there's a fucking shit ton. These are just the ones that I get on inbound. But to be honest, right now, most people are getting roles from fucking LinkedIn, and I'll show you how to do it. These are some of the successes. Fucking Marion, I help her out of her business. She just landed a huge hotel and a big influencer. Dominic smashes it every month. Zach just landed as well. He just had his first week. Ayana, first call, first close, no sales experience, so on and so forth. The results are all there. You can see them in my story highlights. I'm not going to pedal the same fucking bike, but if you want to be a part of it, you know where to go. What I'm going to do is just repost that fucking link. If you actually want a call, you get a strategy call. We now actually do 3 group coaching calls per week. So you do 2 with me, do 1 with Reese as role plays, and we're going to add another one in with Freddie. That's going to be more of a Q&A for everyone in the UK and US time zone. What I'm pushing more of is like a full 360 sales course. So it's not just if you're a closer, but if you're an appointment setter, if you're an SDR, if you're building out your business, if you want to get more customers, if you run your own agency, your own firm, it's all the same fucking thing. I've done it all, so I teach you it all. I'm not one of those fucking closers that did a sales course and now I'm a closer. It's like I've done every aspect of it. And I would fucking put money on it that there aren't many people who have done as many sales roles in as many different sales positions in as many different industries in as many different fucking countries as I have. Anyway, I'm going to fucking pull my head out of my ass for a minute, jump into it, ask some questions, and then run it from there.